Joining us right now is Ohio Senator Rob Portman. Senator, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
You bet, Maria. Good to be on with you again.
Our condolences to you and everybody at Ohio State University. What are you expecting when you see, will you be in Ohio when Donald Trump visits there today?
I sure wish I could be there. We're here in Washington, as you know, still voting. In fact, we have votes today and probably through the weekend. But it's great he's going. He's going to be talking to the first responders, including Officer Harushko. He's the brave officer who showed up and within a minute or two was able to stop this terrorist attack, and he's also going to meet with some of the families of those injured and some of those who were injured in the attack. So I think it's great he's going, and I wish I could be there with him.
What do you make of his pick so far in terms of putting this cabinet together?
I think it's impressive. You know, there are a number of people I know well, others I don't know as well, and that's not a bad thing to bring people from, you know, outside of the Washington orbit to come in. One of the ones I think is great is General Kelly. I just heard you announce that he may be the next Homeland Security Department head. I think he's a guy who's got a lot of bipartisan respect here, as does General Mattis, by the way. I think both of them will be able to get through a confirmation process pretty quickly because people understand their backgrounds. They've worked with them, they know them, and I think they bring a lot of expertise to the job.
Senator, it's Dagan McDowell. Other than the kind of ongoing outrage from the left about Donald Trump, well, tweeting, you've had, again, I think that they've completely lost their minds about Trump's pick to overhaul and run the EPA, Attorney General Scott Pruitt. I just want to know what you make of that and how tough Pruitt might be on those bureaucrats at the EPA and how they're crushing business in this country.
Yeah, I don't know Scott Pruitt. He was one of the ones I was referencing, but he's got a good record as Attorney General, as was noted by Kellyanne a moment ago. You know, he's the guy who's qualified to do this because he's worked in the regulatory area a lot. There has to be a change, and it has to be both legislation and regulations, but also attitude. And some of that comes from the top, and I think Donald Trump's made it very clear that he'd like to see the agencies allow small businesses to do what they do best, which is create jobs. And if you're stifling small businesses with more and more regulations, and some of those are coming from EPA, it's really tough to see the kind of economic growth and opportunity we all hope for. So I think it's going to require both, again, some changes in law and some new regulations coming out of the administration that are more sensitive to job creation. But also it's about an attitude. It's about ensuring that the agencies are partners with business to try to ensure health and safety. Everybody wants that in a clean environment, but to do it in a way that is not the police mentality, but the partnership mentality. And I think that will probably be something that Pruitt brings to the job.
Senator Portman, I know your thoughts and prayers today are on the events at Ohio State and the victims there, but if I could transition you to the legislative calendar for 2017, there's an awful lot in Trump's to-do list. There's tax reform, there's potential repeal of Obamacare and having to come up with a replacement, there's Dodd-Frank and the whole regulatory regime. What do you think the priorities are going to be in the new Congress? What are you hoping to get accomplished first, second, and third?
Well, I think the top priority is to deal with the Affordable Care Act, and as you know, there's discussion of having an immediate vote for repeal and then a longer-term process for replace. We do have to ensure that the replace option is something that we focus on, because a lot of folks who are in the exchanges or are covered now by Medicaid through no fault of their own. They're involved in an Affordable Care Act that is not working, but we need to be sure that the rug's not pulled out from under them. I think we can do that and do it effectively and come up with a better system. But that's, I think, job number one. But the biggest job, and the second thing we'll turn to, is jobs. And that will include tax reform. It will include regulatory relief. It will include doing something on infrastructure to create more jobs and opportunities. So I think that's a huge priority of Congress and of the administration. And for the country, there's so much potential. As you know, we've got a broken tax code. We've talked about it a lot on this show, and you know, it's something that most Americans acknowledge. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to working with the administration on it.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about 3.5% to 4% growth. Do you think those plans will get us there?
Well, it depends on so many other external factors. You were talking about the ECB this morning and what's going on in the global economy. But yeah, I think the American economy can once again lead the world. I think we can show that, you know, we have the market forces here to be the envy of the world again by sort of unleashing this potential. We are right now shooting ourselves in the foot with a tax code that is non-competitive, it's antiquated, a regulatory system that doesn't take into account the costs and the benefits. You know, there's just so many things that we can do to close the skills gap. In my home state of Ohio, we've got jobs open, but we don't have the skilled workers to fill them. And so, you know, there's opportunity here with tax reform, regulatory reform, dealing with health care, energy opportunities, increasing skills training. I mean, there's just this great opportunity for us to reach our potential, which will bring back a lot of jobs and also will increase wages to deal with the middle class squeeze. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think markets are looking forward to it as well. We're in this rally mode as a result of all of these plans. Senator, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Maria, thanks for having me on again. Take care.
We appreciate it very much. Senator Rob Portman there. Tune in